forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
No surprise here, hot and humid again this afternoon, and we expect more of that for tomorrow as well. Right now it's 87 degrees in Champaign, 90 in Danville, 87 in Mantoon, also 90 in Effingham and Lincoln too, with a little shower and storm complex moving through parts of Livingston as well as McLean counties. We'll look at Storm Tracker Doppler here momentarily, but Flooring America weather camera overlooking Springfield on a Roof and Dog iNet does show that we've got a mix of sun and clouds out there with winds out of the southwest between about 5 and 15 miles an hour. So for this evening, we're still going to remain generally clear as well as dry, but also muggy tonight. We've got the same forecast, like I said, for tomorrow. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
There's a lot of people on this campus were infants or toddlers, maybe not even born when 9/11 occurred.
So some ROTC members made sure they had an idea of what firefighters went through that day.
Plus, people didn't wait for the fire department to show up to put out a house fire, how a neighborhood worked together to try and save a man's life.
And a former U of I professor is being sued. What students are accusing him of doing.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
I'm a New Yorker by birth, so I grew up actually looking at those towers, and it was a personal thing for me.
It's a day forever ingrained into the minds of people who witnessed it. The U of I ROTC wants to make sure those who weren't there never forget it. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Today's the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. To keep the memory of those first responders alive, officers and cadets started climbing. WCIA 3's Andy Olson has more.
As the sun rose over Memorial Stadium, 300 people were running stairs. It wasn't just an exercise for the 4 U of I ROTC units, though. They all ran 1,980 stairs, the same amount as the first responders going up the World Trade Center. Just like the country rallied together 18 years ago, they want the city to rally in remembrance.
It's about community, in my opinion. Like, even though we're just the ROTC units, it's about coming together and upholding tradition, honoring those who came before us, and just being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Some members of local fire departments also joined the cadets in the climb. In previous years on the anniversary, ROTC would plan a memorial run through campus. One of the organizers, though, says he had the idea to do more.
Because a lot of people on this campus were infants or toddlers, maybe not even born when 9/11 occurred. So this was a good way to do something different and to really commemorate what the first responders did going up those towers that day.
ROTC cadet Joy Kim was only 3 years old during 9/11. The daughter of a Korean immigrant who was a member of the military during the attacks, she says these kind of memorials help her understand the significance.
An event as significant as that, it kind of brings the world together in a way, because we're all at that point fighting for the same cause, and for me to be a part of it is a really great honor.
Organizers say this year's event was just a trial run. They're hoping to open things up to the public and get more people involved next year. On Wednesday, though, they still put every stair in Memorial Stadium to good use. In Champaign, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
While planning for next year's climb hasn't started yet, the Navy ROTC says they were happy with how things went today. Next year's will be the first one to include cadets who were born after 9/11. And in his own way, remembering today, Lakeland College instructor Josh Folk spent this morning on a Stairmaster. Wearing firefighters' gear, he climbed 110 stories, the height of the Twin Towers. This is the 3rd year in a row Folk has done this tribute. People also gathered to pay tribute through ceremonies this morning in Champaign and Urbana. A moment of silence was held to signify when the first plane crashed into one of the Twin Towers. Firefighters say as a new generation grows up without the memory of 9/11, it's important to make sure they don't forget it.
It's significant. You know, we have a lot of young guys in the fire department now that maybe just learned about September 11th in school. Those of us who were here, it brings us back to that day. Most of us remember exactly where we were at when it happened.
We have not forgotten Pearl Harbor, and we can't. We can never forget what happened in Pearl Harbor. We were attacked, just the same that we were attacked on September 11th in New York City. We can never forget that.
Remains of people killed on 9/11 are still being identified even 18 years later. And officials say 2/3 of all the first responders who rushed to the World Trade Center have at least one certified health condition stemming from that day.
A former professor at the University of Illinois is being sued for abusing and exploiting students. An 87-page lawsuit details the ways they say Gary Hsu used his position as the head of the East Asian Languages and Culture Department to do this. The victims are two of Hsu's former students and a professor at Wesleyan University in Connecticut. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live outside the foreign language building. Courtney, when did he stop teaching there?
Well, Paul, he was being investigated in 2016, but he was still being paid until August 2018, when he then resigned. Now, that investigation resulted in a settlement agreement. This lawsuit, on the other hand, is asking for more. The students want damages. They say Hsu beat them, forced them into sex, and used his power as head of the department to keep them quiet. The professor says Hsu raped his friend, and when the professor tried to expose him, Hsu cyberbullied and harassed him. The victims also say the U of I needs to change how it handles reports of abuse. Other students on campus say they feel the university should make it easier to come forward.
As a student myself, I know it's hard when you're dealing with someone in a position of authority, a professor, someone has control over your grades. You know, it's hard to speak up for yourself.
The New York-based lawyers behind this lawsuit say they plan to sue the university next week. They will be asking the U of I to change its practices and how it deals with students' complaints. I did try to reach out to Hsu to get a comment from him, but I wasn't able to reach him. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you more about the allegations and more behind the reasoning for this lawsuit. Reporting live in Urbana, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thanks. Now, the university did respond to what happened, saying it's reviewing and revising disciplinary processes so it can take quicker and more forceful action with employee misconduct.
Now, for a follow-up to a shooting from earlier this summer, U.S. Marshals and the Champaign County Street Crimes Task Force picked up Levante Neal this morning. He's wanted for a shooting on July 22nd. Police say there was an argument inside a home on North James Street, and a man was shot in the stomach. He survived. Neal faces charges of aggravated battery and discharge of a firearm.
Champaign police are investigating after a stabbing victim went to the hospital early this morning. Officers say the man said he was stabbed near South 4th and East Clark Streets. He then ran to the Octave Apartments to call for help. No word on the man's condition this morning. New at 5, state police are searching for the drivers of a stolen vehicle that was abandoned. A white box truck used to deliver mail was reported stolen. State police tried to stop them around 1:30 because they were swerving all over the road. The driver didn't stop. Later, police found the truck abandoned in Decatur near Mount Zion Road. They don't have any suspects identified.
On a day when everyone is thinking about first responders, we have the story of neighbors jumping in to help during a fire before the professionals could get there. This all happened last night in a mobile home park on Green Acres Street in Danville. WCIA 3's Miranda Meister is with us. So, Miranda, what did these neighbors do?
Jennifer, one neighbor told me she had just seen the man walk into his home, the man who lived there. When she came back out, she saw flames coming out of that home. She ran over and realized that he was still inside. They could hear him yelling and banging on the walls of the mobile home, trying to get out. Neighbors came over and were working to pry the back door open. His daughter was also out there. They say that when they got the door open, she crawled in and was able to pull her father out. A neighbor who used her own water hose to try and put out the flames says she's glad so many people came over to help.
And it's like the whole wall was moving, not the door, but the whole wall. And it's just like the whole neighborhood came to help. So, I mean, I'm glad we got friends like this around here. I am so glad.
The man inside was sent to the hospital by helicopter, a hospital in Springfield. The fire department says when they got there, they were able to put the fire out quickly. No other homes were damaged, but this one is a total loss. Now, a cause for the fire is still under investigation. The Danville Fire Department says the State Fire Marshal's Office is handling it. Paul.
All right. Miranda, thanks. Well, it's something one small university can be proud about, why it was listed in the U.S. News and World Report.
Plus, some scams have you sending money by wire or on gift cards, but a new one is asking you to go a step further. We've got the warning.